We just don't want to go too much into the extremes of it, yeah? And most of the time we're sort of okay, neither happy nor unhappy, So, but this, in that sense, advertising and the culture we live in tends to exaggerate and really it's like a blowing out of proportion about what is the what used to be idols in the past. These images to which you could identify before plastic surgeries, and they were a lot more real, and the means of getting there more human. I mean, they had their faults. They maybe had nice eyes, but not such a nice nose. And these days, with all the plastic surgery, it's like, Barbie dolls and all that appeared also lately. Barbie dolls didn't exist last century. This is a whole concept of the aesthetics and what it means to feel good, to look good. The whole concept of that has changed dramatically. Actually, still in some African cultures, it's appreciated when the wife is I would call robust, not to say fat, but then and also they would for the wedding night, use oils to on their skin, so they are really sort of slimy and there is consistency there too for the male, to enjoy the body of the woman, and this is seen as something good. It's not a plus to be skinny. In certain African cultures, you want to be round. So yes, I don't know how old it is, but it has become more of a problem in the last 40 years, 50 years, certainly.
Okay. And what would you say why? Well, I've obviously read a little bit about it, and it was referred to until a few years as the rich white girl syndrome and that kind of slang. Rich white girl syndrome.
Yeah.
People actually called it that.
Yeah, well, because this is what I'm telling you. In culture, when you go to really extreme or other cultures, not the Western, the typical Western civilization, then you really see that it's not it's not so present, or it's not present at all. As I said, it has to do with having enough to eat, in this case, that you can, play with it, and it's as if, and it does correspond with when there's too much of other things, of everything, and then it's like, it's like getting stuffed in a different way, stuffed with things, and this is another tendency of present culture, we unfortunately, and the media, the advertising people know it very well. That's why they take so much advantage of selling goods to people. We like to have things, but then they take advantage of it. And then we end up having iPhone, iPad, e-box, Xbox, all the boxes and all the gadgets and all the things. And there are slogans, the more the better, or the newer the better, or you cannot live without it, or you just need to, when you listen to advertising, just call now, satisfaction guaranteed, the day is today, don't wait until tomorrow. Everything is immediate gratification, and have it all without filtering or understanding really, do I need this? Why do I would go for something like that? What is this bringing into my life? So then, then it's confusing. Yeah. Because then you want to have more and more, and then when somebody else has something that you don't have, it's like, well, I have to have it. Why, if she has it, I cannot have it? And then it becomes, it's a fantasy to believe that at one point you may not need anything at all. You will always need something. We are, people human beings, we are born incomplete. We are born immature. We need each other, and we have needs. Actually, those needs and wishes, desires, are those that keep us moving forward, wanting to study more, to know more. So, yeah, that is the whole idea of it. It's not about covering and putting like lids on our needs. It's about exploring and going further with them, rather than just putting something that serves as a, it's like a pacifier to a child, or in the opposite side of the anorexia, the bulimia, yeah, to just overeat, just instead of, being sad, being able to talk to somebody about it, meet with a friend, and work whatever conflict is underlying.
To what extent do anorexics realize that they are anorexic? Are they in denial or?
Yeah.
What wakes them up out of it?
Unfortunately, physical symptoms start appearing, although now, for example, the stopping of the menstrual period in girls is not considered a symptom of anorexia as it used to be, because very few girls are regular. In the case of girls, are regular until a later age. That is, something to consider because it has potential consequences. And then there is eventually an inability to cope with everyday life, say sports, intellectual activities, because suddenly they start feeling very tired and not able to function in the same way that they would. But this takes this takes months.
And until then, nothing? So they...
No, because the human body is extremely resilient. Our body is built to put up with a lot more than we think it can. Yeah.
And just a more specific question, how much do you think they eat, as in the very later stages?
Oh, well, when almost nothing. I mean, just barely,
An apple a day or something?
Yeah, I would say, yeah, and in pieces. They wouldn't have it all in one go. It's like having 3 peas and 2 slices of carrot and, and a leaf of lettuce, and that would be, yeah, I mean, when it gets too extreme, that's why they need to be hospitalized. When it gets that severe, of course, hospitalization and an indoor facility is the only solution. But yeah, I would say very few cases get to that. Because people are aware of this disease more than before. GPs are more aware of it, and they know that psychological